Cheers, Sandy. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Hey. You alright? Do you want a glass of water or anything like that? Has anyone offered you anything? Yeah, just give me a moment. Yeah. Tony? Mate, can you give me a glass of water? Cheers, mate. Here you go. It's quite warm. I'm sorry about that. I'll put it there. You help yourself, alright? Sorry about the little kerfuffle there. It's an absolute belter of a day out there and a bit of a hilly-dooly earlier, but nothing to worry about. My name's D.I. Braithwaite. Look, I'll be honest with you, because it might explain a few things, but I was recently promoted to DI and I'm kind of still, getting bearings a little bit. You're actually my first case. And so I apologise in advance if I make mistakes. But I know that you have been through the ringer a little bit these last couple of days. And so, despite the heat, the lack of water, and my own ineptitude, I want to assure you that we're going to do our absolute best to help you, alright? Good. First things first, I need to ask you a few questions for our files, if it's alright. Sure, of course. It's all confidential, obviously, but to give us the best possible chance of catching this person. Anyway, listen to me. Prattle on. I told you my name was Detective Braithwaite, right? You can call me Stanley if you like. Sure. Oh no, I'm good for water. Got a bit of a confession. I only actually drink water if it's got like squash in it, or like what do you call it? Some kind of flavouring. Like passion fruit and mango. And they don't have that down at the station, and I always forget to bring it with me for my packed lunch. Cordial. Yeah, that's right. Oh well, I hope that I'll be cordial enough for you today. So the date today is officer registration. Alright. Occurrence number. Okay, QP 6529. Alright then, so just some absolute basics to get started with. Can I take your surname, please? Alright. and your given names. Yeah, first, second, third, fourth if you're lucky. Alright. I know it's rude to ask anyone, but your date of birth, that's okay. You know what? I'm not saying you're old, but you're pretty close to me. And your preferred title or position, if you have one. Alright. Do you have any preferred pronouns that we can use? Of course. No, mine's he, him, or Stanley. I didn't mean to make light. Sorry, I'm just prattling on, trying to make small talk. But this is big talk. So. And if you have a business, do you have an ABN at all? No? Alright, no problem. And can I get the what the hell's this? Can I get the first line of your home address? If that's alright. Sure. Spell out how it sounds. Alright. And your postcode. Your telephone, your preferred telephone, like mobile, is fine. And here's a little blast from the past. Your fax number. Yeah, I know. Got your mobile. Yeah, what about your email address? Oh yeah. Oh man, mine's still a weird one. I used to really like the Jungle Book, and I really liked Car, the snake. And so my email for I think 10 years was Car, the snake. Yeah, whatever. That's the first bit done. Right, now, in a moment, I'm going to ask you to go over what happened to you the other night. But first, just so we can get it filed as quickly as possible, I want to see if I can get a suspect description from you. Now, I know that it'll be painful to go over things that have already happened, things that have ended, moved on. But the only reason we're revisiting this is to give us a good shot at getting this person, alright? Now, if at any point you feel uncomfortable telling me any of the details, or you simply don't want to talk about them, I completely understand, and we can either get a different police officer to come in, excuse me, to help you, or simply take a break, alright? So please, I think the important thing is, in your own time, and to the best of your ability, I'm going to ask you these questions, and if you can just answer them as immediately as you can, like the first thing that comes to your head, almost. And then we'll get on to talking about what actually happened and how we can help. Alright? Good. So, the date was last night, is that correct? And can you tell me approximately what time did this happen? Oh, that's alright, it doesn't have to be exact. I'm just looking for a window of time to provide a time frame. Alright. Whereabouts was this exactly? And it's not too far from home. Yeah, alright. just to make sure, is it alright if I take a contact name of someone who we can call if we need to? Just really quickly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no problem. Now, I know this might seem like a strange question given the circumstances, but do you know the name of the suspect? No. That's okay. And what offence occurred? Was it stealing, fraud, assault, disturbance, fighting? Alright? Yeah. We can put multiple down if that's helpful. Alright. And do you know the sex of the suspect? Alright. Did you happen to see the eye colour of the suspect? Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Blue-grey. And hair colour. Yeah, it can be difficult in the dark, especially. Yeah, that's fine. Hair type, so short, long, straight, curly, receding, bald, shaved, whatever. Okay. Now height. Alright, so just to remind you that 2.5 centimetres is about an inch. So you can tell me in whatever preferred format you like. Yeah, so give me like a 10 centimetre range. Yeah? Perfect. Maybe, alright, no problem. Yeah, I can tick 2. It's fine. Now, if you had to say, would you be able to give me an approximate age of the suspect? Yeah, that's good. What about the build of the suspect? Were they slim, medium, muscular, solid, fat, or obese? Alright. Racial, were they Caucasian, Aboriginal, Torres Strait Islander, Latin American, Indian, Caucasian? Alright. What about clothing? What were they wearing? So a t-shirt, jumper, hat, pants, jeans or something, shoes, glasses, what kind? Alright, t-shirt. Okay. And a hoodie, alright. What kind of shoes they have? You can see. That's alright. And pants, jeans. Okay. They're wearing glasses. And did they have any distinguishing features like tattoos, scars, jewellery, facial hair, like a goatee, or anything like that? Alright. And final question, would you be able to identify the suspect from a photograph? You would. Right. Right-o. Let's put that away for a second. Okay, just to continue, there were no vehicles involved, were there? Like, he didn't get into a vehicle. No, alright. And any companies or like associations with a suspect that you could tell of, like badges? Okay. Bicycle or anything like that? No. And finally, were there any witnesses that you saw to the crime? No. All right. Just to remind you that when a life is threatened, or property is being damaged, or a criminal event is happening, always call 000. And that includes fines as well. For non-emergency calls, you can contact the police link on 131 444. It's City Beat on 40481277. The City Beat one is between 8 AM and 4 PM, Monday to Friday. Alright? I know it doesn't help much now, but often people, in the heat of a moment when they're threatened or in trouble, they'll forget little facts like that. And actually, it can help. Alright? How are you doing? We'll just do this first bit, and then we'll have a little break, and then we'll get back to it. Alright? So, please provide a brief summary of the allegations that you are making. The purpose of this information is to provide the reader with a process of what the actual crime allegations are. A more comprehensive account of the allegations will be requested later. Alright? So, in your own time, to the best of your ability, and only to what you're comfortable saying, please describe to me the crime that took place. And that was at the time stated before, right? You hadn't been drinking or anything like that? No? It's all right, don't worry. You're safe here, and we're going to do our best to help you. And where was that? All right. Was that the only thing that they took? I understand. Well, look, I assume you've called your telephone provider and everything like that. Yeah. And just to reassure you, when someone takes your phone, they are not at all interested in going through your personal details. I remember I had my phone nicked once, and I convinced myself that they were going to call my missus or call my mum, and of course they didn't. Why would they? They couldn't even get into the bloody thing, so, it was fine. So I just want to reassure you, as cold comfort as it is when someone steals an electronic device from you, all they're really going to do with it is sell it. Brick it, sell it, make a quick buck, alright? I know it can feel like a complete invasion of privacy, your personal thing being taken like that, but ultimately, it's not personal. Theft is rarely personal. It's opportunism, alright? Hey, I see you got through that water. Why don't I get you another glass? Yeah? Is the same glass alright? Yeah, our table service isn't very good here, but I'll try my best. Alright, I'll be back in a moment. Just sit tight, don't worry. All safe, all sound. Alright. Oh, here you go. I'll just put it on the side. Alright. How are you feeling? Yeah. Hey, look, I understand. I really do. My boss, she says I shouldn't get philosophical in situations like this, but And again, I don't know what kind of comfort it'll bring, but when someone takes something from someone else, steals, or takes life even. 90% of the time, it's because they're lacking something themselves. You understand? People only take when they lack. And invariably, it's money. They want to remunerate themselves somehow. Perhaps they feel that they haven't had an easy lot in life, and so they have a right to basically fill that need or that lack of something. My wife and I, we were burgled about 2.5 years ago. It was difficult, you don't like the idea of someone having been in your house, for one thing, but also just it feels wrong. Why would someone do that to another person? I couldn't fathom it. But anyway, then I started thinking, why would someone do that? Why would someone steal from another person? Why would someone break into my house, my shitty house, and take my crap? Well, it's because their lives, there's something missing there, or they've had something taken away. And when you think about it like that, it gives you a bit of empathy to why they would do that. It doesn't excuse it, of course not, because there are plenty of people lacking something who try to fill that void legally without hurting others. But, it's my opinion that some people are left with little or no choice in the matter. And framing it in that way has certainly helped to bring me a little solace with what happened to me, but also made me aware in the future. Like one night I was lying in bed with Mrs. and we heard a noise outside, and I looked out the window and there was this fella just walking up the road, right, trying to get into every single car that he passed by. Now, I almost wanted to go out there and pop him with a Glock, Of course I didn't, because I'm not a criminal. But what I did do, and it is a crime, it's vehicular disturbance, alright? So you can't do that. You can't, just try to get into people's cars. So I just leaned out the window and said, "Oi, mate, what are you doing?" And he ran off. And all the thieves, they're scared. They're intimidated by what they're doing. You don't have to think that I'm sympathising with them. I'm a police officer, for Christ's sake, but you got to get into their mind a little bit. And when you do that, it helps you to understand why they did what they did. It doesn't excuse it, but it gives you a why, and a why can be helpful sometimes. Anyway, sweet Jesus, going on. I just need to quickly go over the finances of it. All right. So if you're ready, we'll continue with the interview. All right. Thank you. So, how much would you estimate was the total dollar value of the items that you've lost? All right. And have you recovered any of that loss at all? Whether through remuneration like insurance or whatever, but also if somehow, drop a pen, somehow you happen to get your property back. And so I know this seems like an unusual question, but what is the aim in reporting this matter to the police? Of course, that's what we all want. And to just be able to sleep easy at night, you know. Alright. So, here we go. This is the big one. I've got extra paper if we need it, so don't worry about that. Comprehensive summary of allegations. Just to remind you that this information is intended for the information of the Queensland Police Service only, and is a chronological summary of events from the basis of your criminal allegations. Wherever possible, it's important to include times, dates, places, and also any details of conversations you may have had with the suspect. It's also important that this information is factual, as you may be required to give evidence in relation to the information provided in this report. And like I said, I can attach extra pages if we need them. So there's also a note here about if there are exhibits of evidence, but there aren't any. And if you're in possession of original documents or materials that pertain to it, they must be preserved, but there aren't any either. Alright. We'll also need a copy of your phone records, just to make sure, and also we'll be tracking the data that might have been used after that. Okay? That's all the legal mumbo jumbo. But what's important from my perspective, and I keep saying it, but at your pace, in your own time, and in your own words. Please tell me in as much detail as you can what happened. Are you ready? Are you okay? Hey, if you want to stop at any point, just give me the nod. Alright, mate, let's do it. Yeah. It was about an hour later. All right. Yeah, please keep going. That's okay, if you can't remember that. I mean, this is just ultimately just a statement to help us make sense of the crime, get a time frame on it, but also in a small part to help you to make sense of it too. And hey, listen, you're doing really well. You're being really brave. I mean it. Sorry. Say that again, sorry. Yeah, alright. Yeah. I understand. It's okay. You're doing really well. Yeah, I know that well, that place. Right. Slow down a little bit, if you wouldn't mind. My writing is bad. Right. It's okay. No, don't worry. You're doing fine. You're doing really well. Okay. Alright. Is there anything else at all that you can remember that might have come back to you just going over it like that? No? Okay. So, that is, the questions today. So everything you've told me, well, as I said, be kept confidential, but it could be used in court if we apprehend the suspect. Now, I know I mentioned earlier that it would be a good idea if you were to, get all your phone company and stuff and cancel any cards that you might have with your bank too. I know it's a process, but it's just to protect you as much as possible. Now, on your way out today, the receptionist will give you my card. You can use this to call me to check up on how we're doing. Now, I'll be in charge of your case, and so I'm happy for you to use me as your primary point of contact for any progress regarding it. And if you remember anything at all that you think might be useful, do not hesitate to call me. I can also give you the number for our dedicated victim support unit. As you've probably been able to tell, my bedside manner isn't very good, and I'm not very good in general in supporting people. But I like to think, even though I'm new, that I'm a good detective. And so I want to reassure you that I'm going to do my job, that end. But the VSU that we have here is, they're just wonderful. Alright, now I can give you their number too, in case you want to talk to them about what's happened, as well as seek any kind of therapy that you think might be helpful to help you just get back to feeling a little bit normal. Given the nature of the crime as well, if you wish, we can arrange for temporary sheltered accommodation for you. You don't have to decide that now. It's absolutely fine. Give me a call or just call reception if you decide that you'd like to do that, and we can help make it happen. Alright. So, just to give you a little idea of what happens next, I'm going to take everything we've spoken about here, and I'm going to start building a timeline of events. And from that, I'm going to canvass, investigate the scene of the crime, and do my very best to track down the person who did this. Alright? One last thing. I want to commend you on how brave you've been today. I know how difficult it is, not only to talk about these things, but to sometimes admit that they happened, and also to ask for help. And you've taken the biggest step you possibly can in taking your power back, and hopefully, with a bit of detective work and your support, we'll get some justice too. Alright? Good. Looks like you enjoyed your water as well, which is good. So, I am going to ask that you just relax here for a moment. I know it's not the nicest room in the world, but you only have to leave when you're ready, okay? So, in the meantime, just stay here if you feel safe, and I'll just be down the hall, down the corridor, so give me a shout. Yeah, just shout Stanley like a dog, and I'll come running. But yeah, I'm here to help. We all are, alright? So, just stay strong. Relax here for as long as you need, and when you're ready to go, just toddle off, talk to reception. Okay? All right then, mate. Thank you. You've been ever so brave, and I'm really glad that you're my first proper case. All right. Take care. I'm in it.